What's up, YouTube? How's it going? So, I want to talk about something that I have seen for a while, and I've sort of picked up on for a while, and that is brown skin and dark skinned black men seeking validation from light skinned mixed and biracial women. And before I give, my commentary and go into my video, I'm going to give a disclaimer, okay? For you sensitive niggas out there. This video deals with a specific segment of brown skin and dark skinned black men. And as well, even a specific segment of light skinned mixed and biracial women. What I'm going to say in this video does not apply to all. It does not apply to the entire collective of brown skinned, dark skinned black men and light skinned mixed and biracial women. All right. And this is just my opinion, and these are just my observations, and this is just my conjecture based on those observations. Okay. Now that, with that being said, let's get into this. So yeah, light skinned women, biracial mixed women, they help give brown skinned and dark skinned men validation. Some, not all. All right. And of course, the brown skinned, dark skinned black men are not going to come out and admit this because it wouldn't be a good look. It would make them look weak and insecure and negatively affected by colorism, right? And, they want to keep the colorism going, even if it's to their detriment, even if they're not getting 100% positivity from it, right? They're getting enough positivity from it. They keep it going, and they will sacrifice one of their own to maintain the system and the greater good. Just like white supremacy, right? White supremacy will sacrifice one of its own to maintain itself. Don't get it twisted now. And a bit of a sidebar, that's why I be telling you, brown skin and dark skinned black women, stop filing these niggas colorism complaints for them. Let them file their own goddamn colorism complaints. Stop trying to be Super Mammy, Captain Pick Me, Captain Save a Dark Skinned Nigga. Stop trying to get these niggas to clap for you, because they ain't gonna do that shit. All right. And also another thing, when these colorism situations come up and dark skinned and brown skinned black men are affected, the women who talk about colorism, usually the brown skinned, dark skinned black women on YouTube who talk about colorism, then they want to come to them and be putting them on the spot like, oh, aren't you going to talk about this? Right? But prior to this, you were denying colorism. But now colorism exists because you affected by it. Man, get the fuck out of here. So, don't let them run that game on you, right? Because even when you are 100% fair and balanced, they're not going to come through for you. Not as a collective. Maybe as an individual, but not the collective is not coming through for you. No matter if you're fair and balanced or if you're biased. Even if you're biased toward, in their favor, it still doesn't happen. So no matter what the fuck you do, you're still going to end up with unfulfilled colorism complaints. Okay? So let's get back to business. So I personally think that, when these dark-skinned, brown-skinned black men are with light-skinned mixed biracial women, sometimes, I think a lot of times actually, it gives them a sense of validation, a sense of worthiness, and a sense of accomplishment even. Again, they're not going to come out and say this, but I do think that this is low-key at play. And I think this is how, darker-skinned black men deal with colorism. Don't get it twisted, and let's not pretend like, this doesn't affect everybody, because it does, just in different ways, right? So this is how they kind of deal with it, right? And some of you may be thinking, especially if you're a brown-skinned, dark-skinned black woman, you may be thinking, well, why can't these dudes just get their validation and worthiness and sense of accomplishment and all that good stuff from being with a fly, brown-skinned, dark-skinned black woman? And in some cases that can happen, but in other cases, I feel like because these dudes are color struck and dealing with colorism issues, they need the validation from somebody else, another type of woman who has some proximity to non-blackness, right? And sometimes even just hearing light-skinned, mixed and biracial women big up them is a big deal for them, right? Like them saying like, I want my man like 7-Eleven coffee, strong, hot, and black, baby. Right? Or especially when they're saying they want to have their chocolate babies, right? They like that one too, especially that one because a lot of times the brown skin, dark skin brothers may be receiving the message that their seed and their genetics are not considered good, for lack of a better word. So they like hearing that sort of a thing coming from women who have proximity to non-blackness, right? Like, oh, I would love to have your chocolate babies. I love my man dipped in chocolate, baby. And I'm just like, run that game, light-skinned Keisha. All right, keep running that game, biracial Becky. Keep on. And also, but think about it. And some of you may be thinking, nah, it ain't like that, nah, right? Some of you. But let me present some evidence, okay? Why do you think black men were in their feelings when that wrestler chick said,
do you date white men?
I love white guys.
White men?
I actually don't date black guys.
Really? Really?
No, I don't.
Why? Like, why? Was that just a personal choice? Did you have bad experience?
No, I just think, I don't know, I just have a thing for white boys.
That's interesting.
A little vanilla and a little chocolate. They make cute babies.
y'all remember that? A lot of black men were in their feelings about that, right? But oh no, it doesn't matter. Oh, we're not concerned about things like that. Now you can't run that game on me. I know you niggas a little bit too well. In fact, I know a lot of you motherfuckers in this community, a lot of the segments in this community a little too well for that when it comes to this colorism shit, right? And also, when Halle Berry, Samara Mari, and Meghan Markle opted out of Struggle Love Blackistan and got on that no nigga diet and had their kids with non-black men, well, white men really, right? Black men were not feeling that, especially with Halle Berry now. Halle Berry was supposed to have kids with the deepest, darkest, blackest. I'm talking about blacker than 1,001 midnights black man, right? But she was like, nah, I don't, I want pretty babies. Let me not be shady though. But Halle Berry didn't say that. Like, she didn't have her kids with black men, obviously, right? And that is a choice. That's a personal choice of hers, and that's her right. But black men, especially brown skin and dark skinned black men, did big up Halle Berry like a lot back in her heyday. Now, remember that. And that's something else to think about too when it comes to black men who shame black women for not wanting to support black male entertainers who are not with black women, right? And granted, Halle Berry is biracial. She's part black and part white. Yes, we know that. But nevertheless, it still applies to this situation. It just goes to prove that if the shoe was on the other foot, they wouldn't be so quick to support it either, right? So again, don't let them run that game on you and shame you for how you spend your dollars and where you give your support and who you give your support to. Because if the shoe was on the other foot and they were receiving this type of treatment, they would be opting out too. Heck, they even give Janet Jackson hell. And like Janet Jackson she's been with like, I believe 2 black men, or at least, well, Jermaine Dupri would be like unequivocally black. Then one of the DeBarges, I forgot his name. One of the DeBarges, that would be questionable there. That's when folks want to be like, well, it ain't black. He ain't black. If he was a woman, he would be black. And like, that's a black queen right there. But nah, black kings gotta look like me. All right. But yeah, Janet Jackson, she had her child with like a Arabic Middle Eastern man who's a billionaire, by the way. You know, she didn't go slumming and dumpster diving for dates and shit. You know, she made sure to make it worth her while. So I say all that to say that these niggas will bitch it up in a second. I'm a badass bitch and I'm about to bitch it up. I'm a badass bitch and I'm about to bitch it up. When they feel a hit to their side, a colorist hit to their side. Okay? So again, stop letting them run game on your ass. And, you know, don't let them make you feel bad when you know, bitching it up about colorism and the colorism bullshit that they engage in. There's also another segment of this that I want to talk about, and I've kind of spoken about this previously before. I've even done a video about this before as well. But I think some of these dudes, brown skin, dark skin men who get with these light skinned biracial women, I think they partially get with them because they are reminiscent of non-black women, right? But they are black. They're part black. So it's like you can negotiate that. You can argue that, right? So when he gets accusations of being a sellout, then it's like, no, you know, she's part black. You know, like, you know, like, for instance, a YouTube user who's very popular in the pro-black sector of YouTube, who is, you know, pro-black adjacent. He has a series of documentaries that are very popular with people. So he's with a biracial woman. She's mixed, part black, part white. I think she might be part Jewish or something like that too. So I think if he was in the pro-black sector and he was with a non-black woman, he would be receiving a lot more criticism. Not to say that he doesn't receive criticism, you know, but I feel like if he were, because she's part black, it's different. It's like some people will let it slide, right? Like, oh, you know, she's part black, and you know, that's when they push in the 1-drop rule, like, you know, oh, 1 drop of blood makes you black. The black gene is dominant. You are the seed of your father. All that bullshit, right? You know, going hard to maintain that access, right, to that light-skinned biracial ass, right? But yeah, I feel like they do this so that they can be able to bring them to the cookout without looking like a sellout, right? Because sometimes once someone questions the authenticity of the blackness of their wife or girlfriend or whatever, then it turns into a whole conversation of who's black, and then it's like, oh, you know, you're being divisive. Oh, you're othering people from blackness. Why are you so jealous? Why are you so insecure? Why are you so bitter? Right? And to be fair, it's usually brown skin and dark skinned women who would question the authenticity or validity of the woman's blackness, because it's not going to be brown skin, dark skin black men. You know, it's not going to be them. It's not going to be the light skin mixed biracial women. No. And it's not going to be the light skin mixed biracial men. because if they were to do that, then they would be putting their own blackness up for questioning. So you're not going to really see that all too much, right? So it usually is most likely going to come from the brown-skinned, dark-skinned black woman. And in some other cases, the light-skinned mixed biracial women are a consolation prize for these brown-skinned, dark-skinned black men, if you really think about it. Because sometimes I think like these dudes, they kind of do want to go, full out and date out, outside the community. But, they don't want to be seen as a sellout, right? They still want to be seen as, being pro-black and down for the community. And, they want to be able to come home without being judged or looked at funny or, given the side eye. You just, want to still come home to your people, which is understandable, of course. So, because of all this is why you see dark-skinned, brown-skinned black men defending light-skinned mixed biracial women against dark-skinned and brown-skinned black women when it comes to these sort of situations about blackness and who's black and who's not black. It's because they want to have access to light-skinned mixed biracial women, right? They want to have light-skinned access, right? Don't get it twisted. They're defending their access to light-skinned mixed biracial women. They don't really defend light-skinned mixed biracial women outside of that. Not really, right? And to be fair, they don't really do much of defending themselves, just in general, right? Very much a perpetual victim, right? Within society. Like society's perpetual victim, right? If it's not being a victim of police brutality, it's being a victim of the workforce discrimination, a victim of poverty, a victim of the educational system and the legal system as well. So yeah. So another segment I want to talk about is, and I've talked about this as well previously, but I just want to bring this up again. I think that these dudes who do this subconsciously and perhaps even consciously use, the light-skinned biracial women as a way to somewhat assimilate and to obtain some proximity to non-blackness, which ultimately leads to them having proximity to, whiteness, and having adjacency to whiteness, and also just being seen and treated as a human being. Because, they're tired of the struggle. They're tired of the dehumanization. Aren't we all? And they just want a happy ending and a trophy, just like everybody else. And they feel like these women can help them get to that, can help them obtain that. And perhaps, maybe they can, perhaps they can't. And as well, they would like a visible trophy that symbolizes their symbolizes their success and accomplishments, of course, because when it comes to, dating and relationships and preferences, you may not realize this, but people's opinion of your preference factors into what you prefer. A lot of times, maybe not for every single person in the world, but for many people, that is a factor in who they prefer. Because sometimes I've even heard some, dudes say like they want a light-skinned woman, and they'll ask them why, and it's something about, like you hear all the rappers rapping about light-skinned women, It's like, well, okay, that's all right, but isn't that their preference? But what is your true preference? And I have heard a guy say like, back when he was in school, he did he was brown skinned, dark skinned, and he liked brown skinned and dark skinned girls. Well, nothing wrong with that, right? But he would notice like every time he would be with like the guys and they would be talking about attractive girls in the classroom and stuff like that, and even when they were doing like a ranking of the girls, like a lot of times the brown skin and dark skinned girls were ranked on the lower end, and he kind of felt a bit weird for liking girls who were ranked on the lower end, right? Again, he's a kid though. Um, as an adult, he has said that he does prefer brown skin, dark skin, black women, but he feels like he does like light skinned biracial mixed women are more receptive to him though. And that is a segment that I think goes overlooked, right? So I'm gonna be fair, let's be fair and balanced, right? Because there are some brown skin, dark skin brothers who say that, light skinned mixed biracial women are just more receptive to them. They kind of just maybe just have a better rapport with them for one reason or another. And it's a little strange to hear something like this because you usually can't keep these brown skin, dark skin women, from singing about, they chocolate black kings and how much they love chocolate black kings, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, extra dark chocolate. But this does help to validate and prove my theory that I've had, which is I do think that a lot of this, black chocolate king praising and singing and preaching is somewhat of a performance, as quiet as it's kept. I'm not saying that they don't like those men at all, but I do think that it's very much like overly done, right? Because like I've said, when black women just in general, really, when they find men who are attractive, who are perhaps non-black, or maybe light-skinned mixed or biracial men attractive, there usually isn't as much of a hoopla about it, right? There isn't as much of a performance about it, not nearly as much. Because I think if they were to put on a performance like that, they would get booed, right? And when you perform, you want to get claps and cheers and raves, not boos and hisses, right? So singing the chocolate king songs, chocolate black king songs, that will get you the claps and praises and cheers in the black community anyway, right? But let's see, another part of this I want to talk about is cooning. Like, bar none, there is no bigger coon in the black community, and perhaps even on this planet. There is no bigger coon than brown skin and dark skinned black men. They take the cake when it comes to cooning, right? Hell, they take the bakery. They take the Little Debbie snack cake factory when it comes to cooning. They take everything, all right, when it comes to cooning, all right? Nobody coons quite like a dark-skinned, brown-skinned black man, all right? Their cooning is on a whole nother level, all right? They have written the book when it comes to cooning, all right? And this cooning, I don't know where this comes from exactly, but I think it may have to do with them wanting to assimilate. It's a factor in assimilation. And, assimilation is important, And some of you may be saying, well, these brown skin, dark skin black men are so uplifted in the community, right? With all the Chocolate King songs being sung about them. And that's true. That's true. But let's think about it. Does that really amount to anything? I mean, if you're an actor and you want a fan base, then perhaps, but how many black men on Main Street are actors, are entertainers at all? Not many. Do you know any? Probably not. Majority of you probably don't, right? So a lot of times they don't really amount to much of anything tangible, right? But assimilation does. Let's be real, right? I mean, it is nice to be preferred by, women who you prefer, of course. Yeah. But it's more to it than that, right? But sometimes these light-skinned and biracial women get into relationships with brown-skinned and dark-skinned men, but they don't want their kids to have the phenotype that the brown-skinned and dark-skinned black men have. I refer to those relationships as Beauty and the Dark-Skinned Beast relationships. And these type of relationships are problematic because of the colorism that they produce. Just think about it. Being raised by a mother, a light-skinned biracial mother who doesn't like your features because they're not like her features. They're not the features that she feels, that are beautiful, especially, when it comes to their daughters, right? And sometimes it may be like the kids may have a good relationship with their father, and, it's not a problem for them to look like their father. And that's creating more of a issue there as well. You know. And of course, this ends up circling back to King Kong syndrome, right? King Kong syndrome with a colorism slant to it, right? Because I feel like sometimes these men will continue to put up with this sort of colorism directed at them towards, coming from light-skinned mixed biracial women. And I think partially this is how they cope with colorism, by pursuing the light-skinned mixed biracial women. So it's like their medicine is, helping them, but at the same time destroying them in a way. Quite a paradox there, And of course, when I say King Kong syndrome, I'm referring to how King Kong, pursued the beauty, right? Which was, in this case, that white woman, right? And in this case, the beauty would be, of course, the light-skinned mixed biracial women, right? And I feel like, the lust and desire that these dudes have for, light-skinned mixed biracial women comes from colorism. And it comes like the lust and the desire that they have for light-skinned mixed and biracial women reflect the contempt that they have for themselves and for, in many cases, women who share their phenotype. Because of this, and as well as other factors, I do believe that relationships that involve brown-skinned and dark-skinned men and light-skinned and biracial women are by nature and by design problematic, because oftentimes they're built on colorism. They're fueled by colorism. They revolve around colorism. On the other hand, I do feel like, for one, that's why when you see colorism coming from relationships, it's usually the same two culprits involved: dark-skinned, brown-skinned man, light-skinned biracial woman. Usually that tends to be the textbook colorism culprits, right? On the other hand, you don't tend to see brown-skinned and dark-skinned black women and light-skinned mixed men involved in as much of the colorism fuckery that you see when it comes to light-skinned mixed biracial women and brown-skinned, dark-skinned men. And There's a reason why that is, and this came from a YouTube user who posted on my channel a while back. Posted a very thought-provoking comment that I would like to share with you because I think it really explains why that is very well, by the way. All right, so let me read his comment for you guys. He posted the following: I think light-skinned men with dark-skinned women have special unions because both of them have found a way to love each other outside white supremacist ideas of color. A dark-skinned woman who validates and affirms the masculinity of her light-skinned spouse works because she doesn't see him as soft or conceited. A light-skinned man who affirms the beauty, femininity, and softness of his dark-skinned spouse works because he doesn't see her as hard, masculine, and unattractive. Both of their attractions for one another fall outside common colorist stereotypes, which is why they tend not to produce colorist offspring. Unfortunately, dark-skinned men's attraction to light-skinned women and light-skinned women's attraction to dark-skinned men stems from common colorism stereotypes rooted in white supremacist beliefs about the black body, which is why those types of couples usually produce hella colorism. Both light-skinned women and dark-skinned men uphold colorism together because of the way they see one another and even themselves. All right, so that's his comment, and I completely agree with that, and I think that was explained extremely well. But I'm going to bring this video to a close now. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.